All right, good morning, everybody. Again, 20 minutes before 7. Now, today, a massive day in Parliament. The Parliament of the Republic of South Africa will debate the 8th motion of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. Quite incredible. Somebody gave me the analysis that it's the 8th motion of no confidence in the 8th month of the 8th day. So I don't know if there's anything to read into 8s. But let's bring in my analysts here who are going to be watching this as closely as I think the rest of South Africa. We've got Professor Susan Booysen from the Wits School of Governance and Professor Sipho Seepe. So good to have both of you. Welcome to Morning Live. Let's first talk about the decision yesterday. And I imagine, I'm not sure if you were as shocked as I was after the announcement of our speaker, Baleka Mbete. Were you expecting that?
Well, it was a major surprise, especially if you listen to what she was saying, because it appeared like she was making a case for an open ballot, because she went through what the Chief Justice had said, that our democracy is premised on openness and transparency, talked about the issue of courage, that when you follow your conscience, it's also important that people must understand that there must be a display of courage, irrespective of what might happen to you, and mentioned all other issues that were said by the Chief Justice. Remember, Chief Justice also said there is also a danger with secrecy where the people can be bought in the same way that judges can be bought. And so she almost made a case for an open ballot. But towards the end, she then said, given the sense of the toxic environment, we have to go that route. So she made the decision, and I think what it would do, it would be really testing the members of the ANC. But the most important issue one must understand is that we are in this space because the ANC itself is in a mess. If the ANC was not in a mess, this would not have been an issue at all.
Indeed. we're going to get into that quite deeply, but I just want to ask your reaction as well. I mean, during all of your analysis and your predictions going into this, did you expect this announcement?
No, indeed not. And also in a context that the Speaker in recent weeks has consistently gone on judicial overreach, and the case was really being made. And the President basically at one point told her what to do. But then she had to also gamble with her own political future, I think. And she had to make sure she is seen as her own person. But I think the judicial argument, the fact that it had to be rational, she could not go against that. And in the end, I think her decision was a party decision, that she would not have gone that route if the party, ANC, had not agreed that that is fine. If they had not made sure in recent weeks, Gwede Montage, Jackson Ntembu, the Women's League, all of the lineup was there, made sure to tell the MPs exactly what is expected of them. It would be treasonous, it would be a nuclear bomb, they would be acting like a rented new liberal or a party or a reactionary civil society. Women's League statement yesterday, if they had to go against the party line. And the ANC does not want to be seen to be turning out its own president under opposition pressure. So I think that they have really, the MPs have been whipped in line, and in that context, they felt secure to give the Speaker the permission to go ahead and make that kind of announcement.
Well, that's yet to be seen as well, so we'll talk more about that. But I want to quickly go over to Pulelani Phillips. He's our reporter who's outside Parliament at the moment. Now, he is standing by with UDM leader Bantu Holomisa, who, of course, took this to the Constitutional Court as the UDM. And I'm quite interested to see his reaction to what the Speaker had said and how he felt on the announcement. Bulelani, you're telling me it's a chilly morning there in Cape Town. I can promise you it's going to heat up by this afternoon. 2 o'clock, there should be a lot of heat there.
Most definitely, good morning to you, Leanne, and to the viewers. It's definitely a chilly morning here in Cape Town. Of course, a lot of activity happening around the precinct of Parliament and in the streets of the Cape Town CBD in preparation, of course, for that march by the opposition parties, and later on in the morning by the ANC. And both of those groups will be marching in favor of this motion, and the other one against or in defense of the president. Of course, here in the precinct of Parliament, it's going to be also a strict and highly secured environment as the people prepare for that debate later on this afternoon. Of course, on the mechanics of the voting, I'm going to be now speaking to the General Bantu Holomisa, who is the leader of the UDM, just around the issues that are going to be unfolding this afternoon. Firstly, I want to just take you to that moment when the speaker was making the announcement yesterday. Towards the end of that press conference, she started coughing before she made the announcement. How did you feel when you heard that?
Well, we felt that she was going to say the voting will be done in an open way. So we were surprised when she came up with that answer. But the truth of the matter is that she had no choice, given the intimidation and the noises which have been coming from the leadership of the ANC, even after the Chief Justice of this country had said the MPs must be protected. I'm happy that at least the UDM's campaign has been successful in that now the members of Parliament of South Africa are free from politics of thuggery. They will exercise their right this afternoon freely.
Now, the ANC has been reiterating that, this motion is not going to succeed. Have you been doing any work in terms of trying to convince the ANC members?
Since April, this campaign started in April, and the good thing about it is that even the members of the ANC themselves have been saying Zuma must go, and some have openly said they will vote following their consciences. Over and above that, the sectors of our civil society have been in the streets. They were marching yesterday, and we expect them to be here again today. So the members of Parliament of the ANC in particular, they should take note of that. Especially that last year in the local government, they lost big metros. So if they are going to defy or underestimate the anger of the South Africans, they are doing it so at their own peril.
Now, the chief whip of the ANC, Mr. Jackson Mthembu, said last week Friday that if this motion had to succeed, it would what he equates as throwing a nuclear bomb on the country. Well, what's your take on that?
That's precisely why Madam Speaker had no choice but to grant us what we wanted, because she could not choose to be on the side of the people who are practicing politics of thuggery, where you threaten people. People like about Jackson Mthembu are spineless. People should not take those people seriously. Listen to what South Africans are saying. Zuma has misled Parliament twice. He said here inside he has a bond. When he was asked by Thuli Madonsela to produce it, he never did so. Again, he lied and said Thuli Madonsela never gave him the chance to answer questions. Thuli ran the tape, we saw it, 4 hours. What kind of a leader is that?
Lastly, before I let you go, Mr. Holomisa, the voting mechanics for this motion of no confidence, are you sure that it's going to conceal the members of Parliament?
I'm definitely sure, and also people must understand here, this propaganda by the ANC must be rejected. We are not for a regime change here. If Zuma is ousted today, the ANC, which has got big numbers in this house, will come up with their candidate, and we will vote for him, for that candidate, as we did on the question of Zuma. Between now and 2019, ANC still has that mandate they got in 2014. We are not going to change the ANC. We are not removing ANC from power. We are dealing with one problem, and that is this manipulative liar called Jacob Zuma.
General Bandu Holomisa, thank you very much for lending us your time. Of course, that is the leader of the UDM, giving us his views and his party's views on this upcoming motion of no confidence. Of course, they will be voting against, or rather, to remove the president. And on that note, I'm going to cross back to you in studio.
All right, thank you very much to our reporter there, Bulelani Philip, live from Parliament. We are going to be crossing back to him in a short while throughout the show, in fact, here on Morning Live. So do stay tuned for the updates in relation to the motion of no confidence, which will take place in this afternoon.